So we've got an opportunity to hear about an opportunity from the Fairfield Cultural Alliance. So Denyce.
Hi everyone. I'm so happy to be able to speak to all of you here today. Especially welcome new teachers. I'm Denyce Rusch. I'm here with Paul Squillo and Shanaz Kreider, and we're from the Fairfield Cultural Alliance. The Cultural Alliance was formed in 2005 to create and administer to our state certified cultural district. Now our district centers around the downtown square, and it includes many of the historic buildings, the shops, the restaurants, and all and the entertainment venues that we really all love here. So what we do as a group is that we are here to support and encourage creative expression in our community, especially in our cultural district. So we do it by several small ways, the small ways that we can. For one thing, in your bags, the new teachers and other people who have lived here before may have seen this. It's a heritage tour book. It's different every year, slightly different, but it's a way to go around to Fairfield and check out the different historical sites, and it gives people a kind of a feeling for Fairfield history by going to these different little the places that are already there. So it's kind of popular with tourists and newcomers, but also I've heard longtime residents as well. Another way that we show our love for our town's culture is by giving annual mini grants to people and organizations. So if you have an idea for a project that will enhance the art and culture and or entertainment in Fairfield, but need a little help getting it off the ground, we're here to help. Our Cultural Trust Fund mini grants are each under $500, so they're not major, but they can help you do certain things. Especially, I know in school projects sometimes if you just need a little extra boost to get maybe those supplies that you want to have the group of students accomplish their goal. So our applications are being, we're taking applications now. The deadline is September 30th for applying. We have the applications online at fairfieldculturaldistrict.org/cultural trust fund. However, you can talk to us after the meeting, and we can give you, we have a few applications on hand, and we also can give you any information that you'd like. So we'd just like to encourage you to apply if this sounds good to you. Also, if you have a desire to jump into supporting the arts and culture of Fairfield in our county, please come join our group. We want to encourage more of, I'll just say your generation, and to become involved, because you are the present and the future of our town, and you have a say in how it should grow. So please come join us, and I hope you can take advantage of our little grants. Thank you.
Thank you, Denyce. That's a pretty good segue for the next part of our program, talking about all these wonderful things that Fairfield has to offer. I wasn't raised here, but we've called it home for 11, 12 years, and it is a wonderful community that's diverse and unlike anywhere else in Iowa, and that's why we love it so. And I'm really excited about this next part of our program. We've got three younger professionals that have agreed to share their stories about what they love about Fairfield. And these are three very talented people that I'm sure could live and work almost any place they would choose, but they've chosen here. So they've agreed to share their message with you, and for those of you who are new to this community, might give you some insight as ways that you can connect and put some roots down and find ways to get involved in this wonderful town of ours. So first we're going to start with Anna Bruen. So over here.
Hi, it's great to see everybody. As Detra said, my name's Anna, and when I was going to school in Fairfield, I grew up in Fairfield. I never thought that I would be 30 and happily living in my hometown. My family moved here when we were 5, and it was always way more fun and way more cool to think about where we'd go and what we'd do. And I think the truth of it is, though, when you're the age of the students that you work with, you can't really fathom what you need as a 20-something or as a 30-something or 40-something, wherever you are in the stage of your career that's leading you to Fairfield. You don't really know what you're going to want and need then, as a 12-year-old or 5-year-old. And I really appreciate everything that everybody in this room is doing, especially the educators and the administrators, those of you that have been here for a long time and those just coming into our community, what you're doing to create opportunities for the youth and to create safe spaces and to provide opportunities for age-appropriate activities so that then as we grow up in this community, you can start to see the opportunities that are appropriate as you get older and what you need then and provide things that draw new people to town. So thank you so much for choosing to work in the MSAE and the Fairfield School Districts. Really appreciate it so much. I have 3.5 things to tell you about what I love about Fairfield. The first thing that I thought about when I was thinking about what to share with you about what I love about Fairfield was the post office. Why the post office? Maybe because I follow this great Instagram. It's called the Postal Project. So if you're on Instagram, they're fascinating, really beautiful, architecturally sound post offices. We have a great one in Fairfield. But really, my experience at the post office is an emblem of the accessibility, the friendliness, the short wait times that you have in a small town. I've been to post offices all over the place. I've never waited less than 45 minutes. You walk into Fairfield Post Office, as long as it's not at noon, 5 minutes, right up to the counter. So just it's an emblem of that ease and accessibility and short wait times in Fairfield that make it easy to be here. It's easy to be in Fairfield, and I so appreciate that. The second thing that I thought about was my bicycle. I really enjoy the outdoors. I really enjoy healthy living spaces and healthy natural environments. I can also bike just about anywhere in almost less time than it takes me to drive. My commute is probably 5 minutes by bike and probably 6 if I drove. So I love how connected everything is in Fairfield. I love that we have a really central downtown. It's easy to get to the grocery store, the downtown shops. There's things to do with friends, and it's all pretty walkable or bikeable. We've got a great Jefferson County trail system. It's a 16-mile loop around Fairfield. It's also very bikeable or walkable. You don't have to like your bike. But to me, so the bike just embodies that, the healthy outdoor appreciation that we have in Fairfield, and again, that ease and connectivity and centrality. The third thing that I thought about was the weirdness. I really like that Fairfield's a little bit weird. And what I mean by that, and I went to K through 12 at the Maharishi School, and then I eventually went on and did my master's at Iowa State University. So I can talk about weird from a different angle. So you could classify my experience at MSAE as weird, or you could call my ISU experience weird. Weird is just a word we put on something that's outside our definition of normal. And I love that, especially people that I meet in my generation that either grew up here or they've moved here from other places, they really are open to embracing their definition of weirdness or normal, and they're curious about other people's experiences of normal or weirdness. And there's a lot of openness that people are really interested in each other and interested to learn about each other. And to me, you see that a lot if you go to a court board, like a community board, and you see, I love seeing a county fair poster next to a theater cavalcade poster, next to a Reiki healing session poster. I love it, and maybe one of those things interests you, and maybe all of them interest you. You probably meet someone that all 3 of those things they want to go to. So I love that diversity. I love my friends that I made growing up in Fairfield at MSAE. I love the friends that I've made that have moved to Fairfield from around the country and around the world. So I love that there's this diversity of normal and weird in Fairfield so much. And one really great way to experience and explore and meet that diverse population in Fairfield, if you're under the age of 40, is the Young Professionals Network. I've met some wonderful people through that. And that leads me to my half. So I said 3.5, right? So I said the post office as an emblem of Fairfield's warm and easy, accessible nature. I said my bicycle for the outdoors and connectivity and kind of that small town feel and the weirdness, the people, right? And then the half is really the opportunities. I feel really blessed. I've had some great opportunities to be on boards of directors, to be a part of young professionals, to volunteer for different groups. And it's so great if you're interested in something and you just start telling people what you're interested in, they'll probably ask you to get involved a little bit more. Or if you want to get involved, you could probably start saying, hey, I want to get involved and do something. I feel like I have a little bit of time. No one ever says they have a little bit of time. But you find something that you love so much that you want to give a little bit of your time to that. And I'm blown away by how many opportunities exist in this town. So I feel very grateful that the trails of my life have continue to lead me to be in Fairfield and to stay in Fairfield. And I hope that everybody this year, this school year, finds some rest and some balance as we take on new roles and responsibilities. They say us, I'm putting that in there because I'm taking on a new role too, right? So I hope you find that rest and balance, and I hope whether you've been here a long time or just a short bit of time, that you go somewhere in Fairfield this year that you've never been before. I've lived here like more than 20 years, and I'm still finding new places, new streets, new people, new groups to explore. So I hope you go to one new thing this year and you have some balance and rest in your year. Thank you all so much for being here. I look forward to meeting you more.
Thank you, Anna. Anna's the new executive director at Pathfinders Resource Conservation Development. That was the position I left to come to the chamber. So I got to work with Anna there, and I'm thrilled for the bright future for the organization that I recently departed. So she's going to do awesome. All right, next we have Afton. Oh yes, sitting right next to Anna. So. All right. Here we go. You need some energy, Afton.
Never. Hi, so I'm Afton Hallauer. Am I going to be too loud at this mic? Okay, good. So I'm the Youth Services Librarian at Fairfield Public Library. You'll probably see me because I run all over the place. But I don't know about you, I'm not from Fairfield. And when I told all of my Illinois friends that I was going to this job in a small town in Iowa of 10,000 people, I got a lot of pitying looks. But wait, I said, they have 3 Indian restaurants and one of them is all vegetarian. And then they looked really confused because that's the thing. We have amazing coffee, amazing restaurants, we have sushi, we have locally brewed cider, we have an amazing theater that brings in symphonies and ballets, we have a farmer's market. There's so much to do in Fairfield because Fairfield's not your typical Iowa small town. It's got, like Anna said, it's got a vibrancy of culture and activity that you just don't find in most small Midwestern towns. There's always something fun going on, something fun to do. And yet, like other small Iowa towns, the people are so nice. Honestly, like, I have been tailgated maybe like once or twice since I moved here, and I've been here 3 years. That's insane. I mean, anyway, so honestly, I think it's because people are so nice and welcoming here that it's so easy to get involved. Anna kind of talked about this. I feel like that's the key to getting the most out of your community, because when you're involved in your community, you feel like you belong in that community. And, you know, when I first moved here, I actually joined, I think, the Oktoberfest board like my first week. And so that was really fun. Oktoberfest in 2 months! Excited! So if you don't know, Oktoberfest is one of the art walk things, a monthly sort of party on the square. So Oktoberfest is going to be in October. There will be wiener dog races, and there will be all kinds of cool stuff, live music. It's exciting. So come to Oktoberfest. But like I was saying, I mean, I joined Oktoberfest. I joined the Young Professionals group in Fairfield, where I met lots of great friends. I actually became the secretary for the Art Walk board, you know, and then I started doing monthly guest shows on KRUU. And if you don't know, KRUU is our community radio station. It's really cool. It's like, I don't know if any of you did radio in college, but if you did, it's basically like a college radio station that just outgrew the college and then just like is plunked down in this town. It's so cool. You should check it out. KRUU is neat. But what I'm saying is, if you're whatever you're passionate about and whatever you want to be a part of, it's so easy to get involved here in Fairfield. I actually have a coworker who I was telling her I was coming here, and she said, "Oh, my son, it's true, it's really easy to get involved. My son wanted to go out for soccer, and he's not a soccer star by any stretch of the imagination. He just liked soccer and wanted to try it, and he made the team, and they were thrilled to have him." And that's kind of the way Fairfield is. Because it's a smaller community, there aren't that many people trying to like push you out of the soccer team. Like, they want you on the soccer team. Join our soccer team, it'll be better. So that's kind of, you get more opportunities than you would get in a big city. So I guess what I'm trying to say is you can try things that you've never done before that are completely outside of your wheelhouse, and that's okay because it's Fairfield and you can do that. So welcome to Fairfield, and just dive into this really fun, cool community that you are now a part of. Also, I don't know if any of you teachers go on field trips, but the library is a really good place to do a nice field trip. If you're looking for a place to come, if there are any books that you can't get through the AEA, let me know, because we might be able to hook you up. So yeah, do we do questions? If you have questions, you can ask me later. My name is Afton. Bye.
First, I really formally got to meet Afton today. So I met her in passing on the trail when I was on the loop trail with my family. I was like, "Hey, but you're awesome." Yes. What an ambassador for the community. That's fantastic. So, all right. Next is someone I've known for, I think, longer even than I knew Anna Bruen. Kevin Hosbond, who is one of your own, teaches at the high school. And he's got 2 children, and again, choosing to stay in Fairfield. Kevin, I can't wait to hear what you've got to say.
Wow, I'm really nervous. I've never done anything like this. Actually, Anna and Afton pretty much covered all the things I would have said, but I have to give that cliche part. Whenever you're the third speaker, you have to say they said all my things. But anyway, I teach English at Fairfield High School. I've done that. This is my 16th year. And my mentor was Iowa Teacher of the Year, Scott Slechta. So the title of my program is 500 Reasons to Live, Work, and Play in Fairfield. So here we go. Number 1, the arts. We are home to some world-class artists of all types, musicians, actors, and more. All sorts of things art-related. We have an array of theatrical opportunities, from local community groups to national tours that are coming through, thanks to our Stephen Sondheim Center for the Performing Arts, one of only 3 buildings in the entire world named that, so right here. Because of this, I and I think a couple of people in this room, maybe, I don't know if you're here actually, have actually been able to share the stage with Broadway legends, and our students have been able to do that as well, because that facility exists. One year, our high school choir sang on stage with Street Corner Symphony, who was like my favorite group on the sing-off, and they should have won. And I actually have had a chance to perform in a theatrical production to an audience of 1, filmmaker David Lynch. So that was kind of a cool thing. And I'm a Fairfield transplant, and I was the guy at the cork board going, cool, county fair, awesome, theater cavalcade, which was so amazing, and yeah, Reiki healing, let's go try that too. So that was me. And that can be you. We've got great musicians from all over our community that get together and do all sorts of thematic programs. Like there was a big R&B thing. We've got the municipal band that plays Tuesday nights throughout the summer. And if you're not into that, you could go to like one of the open mic nights at a local venue and sing or play or juggle. I don't know what you'll use the microphone for if you're juggling, but that's cool. You might have one of your students say, hey, will you come sing in our rock band Friday night? And you'll say yes, and then you'll show up late because you're like, I don't really know. And you'll get there, you'll find out, their parents are there, all the kids are there, and they've been playing the same 3 songs without a lead singer over and over. And then you'll go sing for them, and somehow you're stuck doing that for a little bit, and then eventually you'll go see that former student in a professional band that is based in Denver, Colorado, that tours all over. So that's kind of cool. Number 2. Nature and the environment. We are surrounded literally by a trail system that circles our entire town. It passes through woods and over creeks and through prairies, around small lakes, through parks, over a bridge with tiles designed by students of Fairfield High School. And there are lots of entry points all over town, so you can get to the trails from all over. You can take a quick walk or a jog. You can ride your bike. We are on the trails like all year long. So that's like one of the things my family loves to do. And we also have several groups in our community working desperately to keep our air and our land and our water safe, and that's important to my family, so that's another reason to stay. I should mention my family. I actually have it written up here at the top, but I skipped over that because they're not here, so they'll never know, right? So my wife Alicia, who I met, who worked down the hall from me at Fairfield High School before she got a different position, and then she returned back to Fairfield to work in one of the elementaries. Our officiant at our wedding was our former high school principal, so that's kind of weird too. So didn't need to know all that extra information. So number 3, lots of activities. We've got the rec center, the library, the museum. There are so many different clubs you can get involved in, so you just have to go do those things. Go to the cork board and go to one of the things. Number 4, the businesses. There are so many weird, unique companies, restaurants, entrepreneurial endeavors going on in this community. It gives us great access to cultural things, intellectual things, progressive ideas. Seek them out. Those orange cones when you're on the highway on vacation, those probably came from Fairfield if you didn't know. That really exquisite floor in that billionaire's mansion in Europe probably came from Fairfield. Those great dresses you see on some people all over the world, those delicious entrees that are probably just here, not all over the world, that magazine or podcast, those are all unique to Fairfield. Oh, by the way, that really awesome internet connection you're enjoying, Fairfield knew what fiber was and everybody else thought it was something that you're supposed to eat. So, we were on that before Google was, seriously. And also the radio station. Who else has a solar-powered radio station where you can have your own radio show? My wife and I have had a show for a while. Not since we've had kids. We let them do the archive, but we were going every Sunday night and doing a show. My kids were like, were you on the radio last night, Mr. Hosbond? Yeah. And I've had students do the same, so you could do that too. Number 5, the people. Get out and meet the people, and these are all true stories to me or my family or people that we love and know in this community. They've all got interesting stories to tell. That sweet old lady who lives across the street from you, she drew the Rugrats and the Charmin Bears. That's a true story. And she'll send your child books, and she'll make beautiful cards for him. That nice old man in the park served in the war. That kid who helped make Star Trek, like the new ones, not the old ones, he's just back in town visiting mom and dad. He graduated from the high school. That guy sitting next to you at the coffee shop, that's just Paul McCartney's son. That guest speaker in your auditorium, that's just Richard Beamer from West Side Story, whatever. That really kind woman meditating in front of you, that's just Oprah. That man I saw walking past the courthouse in a long red velvet robe on a hot summer day, that's just Donovan. Whatever. That nice woman reading a book to your child on the sidewalk while you're stalking Jim Kari to get a selfie, it's just the superintendent of Fairfield Schools. That really weird lady that you met at Walmart, that's just an English teacher at MSAE. And that really, really weird guy that you met shopping at Everybody's Whole Foods, that's just an English teacher at FHS. Which one? And number 6, the schools. There are no better places in this state to work than at Maharishi School for the Age of Enlightenment or at Fairfield Community School District. We've got the best teachers and administrators, the best staff members, And they keep all of our facilities running. We've got the best students in the state. In all avenues, our schools are doing great things. We've got all sorts of championships in athletics and music competitions and like DI, Destination Imagination, and more. Our students have great stories to tell because they all went here. And because all of you are here. All of us are here. We are here living and working and playing in Fairfield, and we invite you to join us and to never leave. If you'd like to know about numbers 7 through 500, just come find me. I'll be over there for a while, and then at the high school if you want to know more. All right, thank you.
Wow, you guys are all an inspiration, and we all have stories that are here in this room. So thank you so much, guys, for doing that. Kind of spur of the moment. I think I asked them like 2 weeks ago, so fantastic. All right, next to the kind of the traditional part of the program, which is where we're going to recognize all of the new teachers and other faculty. Lindsay's going to say just a few words about some of the things in the gift bags that we'll be presenting from our generous donors.
Those were incredible presentations. I know that I'm never leaving now. This is one of my favorite parts coming up, is my great privilege to give just a little token of appreciation to our new teachers. These gift bags were packed with love from Detra and I, but many of the generous businesses that donated the items are here today. On the back of your program, Detra listed them off. I'm sure they would love to meet with you and visit after the program. One thing I want to point out is that there is some chocolate inside, so don't leave it in your car. And when your administrators introduce you, just don't leave without your bag. I'll be over here.
Okay, next I'd like to welcome Dr. Laurie Noll to the mic. So in the past, we've had where I believe the new teachers gave a speech or had to talk, and we're letting them off easy this year. We let some of our other fantastic folks do most of the talking. So I guess, all right.
I'm going to do this. That'll be easier. I think I will have the rest of our administrative team come on up here. We have 21 new teachers, and they will join our 291 certified staff. So, and those teachers serve over 1,600 kids. And the kids in our district have wonderful opportunities that they get to experience every day. And yet I'm going to turn it over really fast. Mr. Stone, our high school principal.
I don't usually get very many applause, so thank you. We're really fortunate at the high school. The 4 new teachers we've hired were great hires, and the kids are really, really excited about them, even in just the 3 days that we've been up and running. So I'll start with Mr. Tim Bartels. He's our associate principal at the high school. Eric Clausen, he teaches science and physics. Patricia Mills, special education. Brandy Peterson, she teaches English. And Tyler Wiesman teaches English as well.
Hi, I'm Laura Atwood. I'm the middle school principal here. And I would just like to say thank you for putting on this event. It's such a nice time to gather and get to know everyone and get the whole community involved. So thank you guys very much. We too are very proud of the people that we have hired at the middle school. I had a teacher come up to me today and say, "Oh my gosh, you guys got such good teachers. We're so excited, and such a good staff." So it's been a privilege working with them already. We have 2 of a couple, I believe 5 that we've hired that I'll ask to come up. The first one is Emily Peters. She's a Central grad. Go Dutch, woohoo! She'll be teaching 5th grade for us this year, so welcome Emily. Our other one is a K-8 counselor, Jay Thompson, born and raised in Fairfield and on his way back. We also have a couple other new teachers, Katelyn Edwards, who is a family and consumer science teacher at the middle school and high school, Cami Milliken, who's in her first year of teaching as a reading and language arts teacher for 6th grade, and then Sarah Marble, who is coming to us from the Omaha area, and she'll be teaching 7th grade reading and language arts.
My name is Jeff Ealing. I'm the elementary principal at Washington and Libertyville, so you might see me going back and forth throughout the day because I got 2 buildings. And so, but they all have to feel sorry for me because I'm the only guy that's got to travel. I have 4 new teachers at Washington Elementary. We'll start with Kari Fitzsimmons. She's our 4th grade teacher. Kari comes to us from Harmony, so we're glad to have her. Katelyn Fry. Staying with that Central College Dutch theme, Katelyn is a recent graduate. We have Jay Pike, also a Dutch. It's nice to have another guy in the building so we can kind of relate sometimes. And then Megan Hines comes from Missouri. She is our preschool teacher. And then out of Libertyville, Susie Nelson.
I also would like to thank you guys for all having this for all of the new teachers and welcoming them to the town. I have 2 new teachers that I was really lucky to nab. My first one is Becky Thompson. She'll be teaching 3rd grade. She comes from us from LeClaire, but she's originally from Fairfield. And then I have Catherine Roth. She will be teaching 4th grade. She comes to us from Wayland.
Angela Jones. Okay, and then we have a list on the back of the other teachers. And again, I also want to thank everyone. It is so exciting to see so many people here this year. And other educators that are here to represent and honor you throughout this year. So Chamber and all of the donors, thank you again. This is a wonderful experience. Thanks.
Looks like a great year coming up.
Juan, how are you doing?
Excellent.
Good.
Okay, next I'd like to introduce Dr. Richard Beall, who is going to recognize the new folks coming to MSAE.
Thank you, Detra. Detra, Lindsay, congratulations on a wonderful full house tonight and a great event. It's one of the highlights for us for each year to see us come together as a community. And I think that one thing your presence demonstrates clearly is that schools are the heart of a community. And I would suggest that teachers are the heart of a school. And I say just like a heart takes in knowledge, oxygenates it, and sends it out to build our bodies, to sustain us, so do our teachers take in students, inspire and inform them, and send them out to build our communities. So we owe a great indebtedness to all of our teachers, and I just kind of would like to thank all of you right now for taking on this noble profession. Really good. And I want to say it's especially nice to have this joint venture tonight because we have a really nice working relationship with Dr. Noll and Fairfield Public Schools. We hope to do more and more joint, endeavors over the course of this year. Yeah, that's right. So this is a bumper crop this year for Fairfield. Everybody's happy with our teachers. We have a wonderful group that's come to us from across the country and around the world. And so I'll introduce them in the order that they appear in the program, with the exception that I want to start with a new position at our school of leadership that we're so excited and grateful to have filled, and that is an academic director. And we have Jill McConnell here with us. She's come to us from Pittsburgh originally, but has been head of school in Brooklyn, Prescott, Mesa, Washington, D.C., and most recently, Shenzhen, China. So really a fantastic former English teacher, a great administrator. We're very delighted to have Jill with us. Jill McConnell. Alan Black is with us from Atlanta. Was at Georgia State recently, and he's going to be teaching social studies in our high school. Alan Black. Some of you will recognize Owen Blake. He's a Fairfield resident, lifelong resident here. He has a bachelor's degree from MUM, and is going to be teaching our interdisciplinary course, SCI, we call it, Science, Creative Intelligence, and projects, and also helping coach, and he's a musician as well. Owen. Sophia Blitz is with us. She's going to be teaching middle school math and hopefully some ballroom dancing as well. Sophia is a lifelong resident as well of Fairfield. Next is Minka Board. Minka didn't make it tonight? Okay. So Minka is going to be teaching middle school science and doing projects. She's working with the math class in the upper school, and she's also a Fairfield resident. Come back to the school. Mike Contafio is our new music teacher, K-12, and he comes to us from Oak Park, Illinois. And next Thursday night, you can catch Mike and his wife, Emily, at Paradiso. Mike has a master's degree in jazz guitar from University of Toledo. The longest trip to get here was Tom Corbett's from Ireland. He actually worked for 3 years at the university, but has just returned to us from Ireland this summer. So Tom is going to be an anchor in our middle school, teaching English language arts, social studies, and working with our projects. Tom Corbett. We're really delighted to have Brianna Eason with us. She's going to be a preschool teacher this year, also a Fairfield resident. We really felt we hit the jackpot when Melinda Gospick agreed to be our upper school English teacher, and so Melinda is also a resident of Fairfield. Sophia is the dancer who goes, as they say, backwards and in heels. The other part of that duet is Dylan Hansen, and Dylan is going to be teaching physics and pre-calculus for us, and he comes from a suburb of Dallas called Lindsay, Texas. We were kidding that Dallas is maybe the suburb, but Lindsay, Texas. Dylan Hansen. Sarah Crone, I don't think is here. So she's also teaching preschool, a lifelong Fairfield resident. And last but certainly not least, Dr. Paul Schwartz is with us. Dr. Schwartz is going to be teaching drama. He comes from originally Connecticut, but he has his bachelor's degree from this institution, Harvard, and then a PhD from Yale, and has been a French professor for many years and in many, many productions. And so he has a very rich theater background, and going to be enjoying his work this first quarter. So Dr. Paul Schwartz. So once again, thank you so much for your ongoing support for our community and our schools. We really appreciate it.